Introducing the guest and, of course, throwing out our questions. Remember that we're going to be throwing open the phone lines for you to call in and contribute and join in to the discussion. Now, former US President Donald Trump narrowly escaped an assassination attempt on a political rally on Saturday, leaving security agencies hunting for information about how a gunman could attack a former American leader. He was dressed in a white shirt, dark blazer, and cap. And then while he was talking, he just said, "Take a look at what happened." And his words were cut off by a succession of gunshots. And one person died. It left two people injured. And there were a lot of conspiracy theories that came out of that. The one that really made waves was the one that they said that it was staged. But then, staged or not, we have to talk about the impact of this on the politics in the US and the upcoming election in November. We're going to talk about that. So welcome to our guest. First of all, we're going to be introducing the regular voice on the Monday's edition of The Melting Point, a public affairs analyst. His name is Otueko Donald Dekere. Good morning to you, Otueko.
Good morning, Sharon. Good morning, Oselo.
Yeah, good morning.
I just want to thank God for His mercies. A lot has happened, so I still have to thank God for His mercies and for the battles He has helped me to survive. I thank Him for that.
Right. All right. We have a second analyst in the studio. We have a political / legislative analyst. His name is Basi Endurance. Good morning to you, Basi.
Good morning to you, Sharon. Good morning to you, Sharon. Good morning to you, Fiber Mates. It's a pleasure being with you once again today to talk about these interesting issues that confronts the society. And all thanks to God Almighty for sparing our lives and for His protection throughout the last week. We just began the new week yesterday, and after we got our stuff in the presence of God yesterday, and here we are. Good morning to you all.
You're welcome.
All right, let's start with Otueko. Otueko, the last time we heard of an attempt on the US president was Ronald Reagan in 1981, and interestingly, it was also a Republican like Trump is. Now, the first question I would like to throw at you is that how significant is this event, in the context of American political history?
You see, it is a normal thing. America is a gun-ridden society. You have more guns in America than you have people in America. You can easily get a gun in America, but you cannot get the license to drive. You can see, before you drive in America, you're 18-year-old, but lower than that, you can buy a gun. You can't drink in America. You understand me? You can't enter a pub to buy drink as far as you're underage, but you can buy a gun. That is how unfortunate it is in America. That they have more guns and they have persons, even though they have brought out some very wonderful argument in support of this type of life that they live. America is the most gun-ridden society, that's number one. But again, too, America is a country where they kill more people than any other country in the world. There's no nation, even war-ridden nations don't kill themselves the way Americans do. There's no time you hear, after every 2 or 3 months, you're going to hear occasions where one young boy will walk into a school and shoot so many people dead. It's a very, very common situation in America. 3-4 months doesn't pass in a year. You hear schools, whether primary schools, secondary schools, or in the public, many have been killed, and more are going to be killed like that. And they give their own reasons, which sometimes doesn't make sense. That gun doesn't shoot itself, it is human beings who do. But why stop people from drinking? Why stop people from driving because they are underage? But you now allow them to buy guns at a very low age. I mean, underage, so to speak. So that is one of the challenges that you have in America. And politically speaking, like you said, you have a lot of you had, I think, before even John F. Kennedy was shot dead, I think there was an American president who was assassinated before him. You had JFK, you had an attempt after every maybe 20 or so years. You have that kind of challenges. You have the one of Ronald Reagan, that the young man said he shot Ronald Reagan because he wanted to impress one actress like that. I've forgotten the name, Judy or something, one actress like that. And that was just the only reason, according to them. And the JFK own was, I think it was a conspiracy with the, what do you call it, with the CIA over so many reasons, which I hope time will be enough for us to talk on that. But you see, the whole thing is this, that it is wrong to have a society that is so gun-ridden as America is. As much as they have reasons to give, which as we go on, I believe we have the opportunity to expatiate on it.
Yes, let me come to you, the political and legislative analyst. Let's talk about the swift reaction of the FBI to the situation during the rally.
The reaction, the response was swift, though not swift enough, I must say. Because just imagine, this could have been abated, the scenario, what happened if the response was quite swift enough. According to information, findings showed that the young man who alerted the security operatives had earlier reached an alarm while the preparation was on gear, while before the actual commencement of the rally, before Donald Trump mounted the podium to make his speech. The young man had already earlier with his friend raised an alarm, tried to alert the security operative that he has observed someone with a rifle climbing the rooftop. So I'm just imagining what happened. Why the delay? Why was there a delay before these persons, before the actual this thing was carried out, the act itself was carried out? Look at it. What if the bullet hit Donald Trump on the head or on the chest? And also take note that someone died, someone was killed on the process. One of the person in the audience, in the crowd, died. No. So if they had listened, so sometimes you don't pay deaf ears to maybe someone trying to give you an information. There's another thing to take home here. Someone trying to give you an information could be a life-saving information, such that if you respond quickly, you are certainly going to save situations. But here, it wasn't so. But however, they still managed to contend with the situation in that they responded immediately when the situation happened, and they were able to clamp down on the culprits and then rescue the former president.
Okay, the Secret Service would, they're also there to take care of the matter, and they were trying to protect Donald Trump and all of that. And what changes do you foresee or do you anticipate should happen? Because this is a political period where people are campaigning against the November election. What changes do you foresee or anticipate should happen going forward before the election?
Well, if I must understand you very well,
I'm talking about security changes here.
Okay, security changes. Yeah. Interesting. I believe that the Donald Trump team will opt up, will enforce more, put more efforts, energy in the security aspect of it.
But don't you think that this is going to affect the way he comes out now in public to campaign? Or any other political party, candidates? Or sorry, any other candidates for the election in the first place?
Definitely, much fear is anticipated. Fear now has been instilled in the minds of Americans. Yes, let's talk outside Donald Trump, because himself, because already there was a comment by the security operative that they are going to be more security conscious, and there are other things they're going to do. Protective gadgets, they talked about something like that, making available enough protective gadgets, although I don't really know how they intend to do that. But then, outside that, let's look at the supporters. Is this likely not going to affect the supporters of these candidates? Yes, the candidates, because my belief in his security operative, the security personnel, because he can afford enough of them. But then, what about the innocent supporters? The innocent supporters might be affected. The supporters of these individuals being able to come out at a time like this. But then, I also see that it will further give these persons reasons to ensure that there's enough security, that nothing is left unturned, that they ensure that the environment is well secured, everything is checked. Good enough, the Americans or the whites have a more security intelligence outside the manpower, the other security apparatus that could be employed to carry out this. So certainly we believe that they will do something in that regard. But however, appearing publicly in person for the campaign at a time where social media, internet is really available. Technically looking at it, I believe they also have a way they will strategize in that angle. Let me not speak for them.
Interesting. That's a nice angle to
Okay, if you are joining us, we're on Melting Point, and we're looking at last Saturday's attempted assassination of the former U.S. President, Donald Trump. All right, U.S. President Joe Biden sought to calm a divided nation on Sunday after his rival Donald Trump survived an assassination bid, saying in a rare Oval Office address that it was time to lower the temperature of American hostile politics. Now, Otuekon, what do you make of this, that swiftly the U.S. President is reacting to the Saturday shooting, saying no cause for alarm, that is just one of those things that must happen. But while the FBI is saying that they are into investigation to study if there are ideologies, if there are anything, strings attached to the shooting, do you suspect or point accusing fingers at the presidency?
What, I wouldn't say the presidency has no hand in whatever happened directly. But one could point our hands to certain other situations that happen. There's a way you create some kind of an environment that calls for this kind of problems to happen. There's so much antagonisms between the two parties. Right from when Obama was there, Trump really is this kind of person that can hype up certain tensions around any environment he happens to be around. And with this man, these are, do they call them octogenarians also?
Yeah.
And you need to hear when debates are happening with Trump and all that. A lot of things pass on. It's insult, things that are normally not seen. Trump is a completely different kind of politician from what Americans have seen. Let me use Americans for example, because you see characters like that. The former president of the Philippines was just that kind of character. It is not conventional, the kind of persons that really believe that we have to twist democracy in some other form to get certain results we want. We cannot always sit down on a round table and we end up bickering without achieving anything. So Trump has his own style and approach, and he has kind of poked his opponents. This what do you call him? The current president is one of them. And the man has replied in kind. Now, if you see, right down after that shooting, the president has pulled down a lot of his adverts that were very insulting to his opponent. Trump has his own and they have their own. But it's just like two elders fighting and bickering inside the house. The little children will take side. They may not truly know how to process the challenge, why you people are fighting. You may not have taken this fight to the level. It happens here in Nigeria politically. The politicians really don't have much issues among themselves, but the followers would pick up the guns and do whatever. So that is what you are actually seeing now on ground. So what they are doing is trying to calm down the fire. I can tell you that the next debate is not going to be as insulting as the immediate past debate between the two. The rhetorics on the podium is going to come down, because you don't know these are the things. That's why I thank God the FBI is saying we are going to study the matter. FBI is one of the most professional security agencies in the world. You know, so they are going to sit down and study the matter and see how they can calm down this tension, advise the people, advise us on ground now to tell them, look, this is not the way to go about it, so that it doesn't generate this kind of challenges all over again, because you can have a counter attempt on the other person. When Obama was president, there was, I think during his campaign, there was this a young man, young white boy who didn't like him being president, and then he had this gun he had prepared and said he's going to mount it on something, drive it at a fast speed, and the gun will be shooting at the president. But he was arrested by the what do you call it, the Secret Service, which is a highly professional body that guards presidents and former presidents and their relatives, especially wives and children. So that is where we are. You are going to see going further, thank God, I mean, we are going to see a little bit more maturity in the way they carry forward this campaign up to November, because if it is early days yet as it is now, and then you have this kind of rhetorics, you know, then what are we going to see? And this kind of hot campaign, I mean, where somebody has lost his life, it's like a third world situation. I think karma heads are going to come in to tell the parties, look, we need to, and they know. That's why you see the president's team has pulled down ads they feel, advertisement on television. You know, America is online stuff, both online, on this thing, on media, or whatever type of media. Their campaigns are mostly that. They raise a lot of money for that, billions of dollars for that. So you see, they are calming down those things so that it can calm the tension down. The people can talk like mature people, which we expect them. Look at what happened in Britain. We should be talking on issues, ideas, not to be insulting each other. You are old, you can't walk, look at you, you can't see this one, you know, those kind of cheap campaign that you could see in a third world, which actually even in most third world nations it is not happening. America is fast losing it as a beacon of democracy. I get me there. But let us just see going forward what they are going to do.
All right, there were a lot of things said after this news got to the media, and one of it was that, you know, someone wrote, this is the price you pay when you take down the elite satanic pedophiles. Now, they were alluding to the Canon's conspiracy theory, which suggests that Trump is waging a secret war against a deep state, a shadowy coalition of security and intelligence services hidden from plain sight, looking to thwart his every move. Do you see from this perspective?
You know what is actually happening in America? We go deeper. Americans are more divided than they have been before. Before now, you could see parties, people from opposing parties, the Republican and the Democrat, working together. In fact, somebody came up one time to give some explanations that during those days, many of them were guys who may have fought in the wars together, in the World War, in different wars, America, like the war in the Vietnam War and all that. And they understood what it is like to be an American and to disagree with yourself. So they had this kind of, when it comes to national issue, they come together and they settle their matter. But now America is so polarized, especially against those, the conservative, who are conservative Christians, especially in the South, who don't believe in what the Democrats are believing, the LGBTQ stuff and all that, who these liberals believe everything should be free. In fact, even if you want to become an animal, today they are teaching children in school in America that you can decide what you want, whether you want to be gay, you want to, at a very early age. You can even have your sex change. Many have regretted even taking such decisions. So these things has deeply polarized America. Remember when Obama was president, you had the LGBTQ website link on the president's, on the the White House website. When Trump came into power, you understand me, he quickly removed it. You see, one of the enduring popularity of Trump is actually based on that. You know, that these people, you are taking America out of what America is God's own state. Do you understand me? You know, and you're doing things. You know, Americans, unlike what is happening in Europe, Americans still go to church. Most people say they don't. I say, look, you don't know what is happening. So the largest congregations in the world are found in America. You know, when they had the opening ceremony of the what do you call this again? This Copa America and this thing. There was a pastor praying and the whole this thing. You can't see that kind of thing in Europe. So, but these people are, the liberals are going in a direction that Americans don't. I mean, certain conservative Americans don't want to be taken to. Remember when Hillary Clinton contested against this same Trump? One of the reasons they say she lost. You know, if you look at her liberal views, it was too extreme. She was even supporting having abortion at a certain age, which certain Americans don't like. And that is why the evangelicals came out in their numbers to vote. Actually, Clinton won the popular vote, but the what do they call it? Is it the college, this electoral college vote?
Electoral college.
Yes, this man won. This shows the spread. While Clinton won in the northeast of America, which is more liberal, Trump won, the spread was across the country. So that's why he got the presidency. So that division, you understand me? And the fact that America, these liberals are taking, you know, Americans, especially the white Americans, they bother themselves with what they call the deep state. You understand me? There's always a state behind the state, and which is true. You know, but it is not them alone who are suffering. We in Africa, we suffer more from the deep state from the West. You see the point? But they bother themselves, especially the white American, they bother themselves about this factor, and they believe that there is always a state within a state that is trying to twist their lives in the wrong way, and that is why they want to have their nations back according to them, even though you see some certain element of racism in it, because you hear Trump will talk about deporting people are not Americans, but the liberals talk about, the Democrats talk about providing jobs for the white, but black people actually. But if you look at the figures actually, Trump was even better for black people. You understand me? Than the Democrats are for black people. But that's not what we are talking about. We're talking about the differences, the disparities in the system. So the disparity is becoming too deep. And you know, it is always said that no great empire is destroyed from the outside. Nobody can beat America from outside. Great empires are always destroyed from within. That is what happened with the Roman Empire. And you are likely seeing the first step to the end of American domination of the world. It is even happening. So that's what you're seeing. That division is becoming too deep. You understand me? That to a point that is going to hit at the foundation of that country.
Okay, let me come to you. Endurance. Endurance. In 1981, we witnessed the shooting or close assassination attempts on President Ronald Reagan. And before the shooting, there are market forces pointing, you know, positive fingers at the dollar getting higher, repositioning for higher treasury bills for the U.S. And the market forces are actually in support of Donald Trump. World leaders and others say they can work confidently with Donald Trump, and some say election is likely to be a landslide, according to the chief investment officer. And of course, again, citing that the polls showed a surge in support for Reagan after the attempt on his life. Do you see the same reenacting in Donald Trump after the near attempted assassination on his life as well? Do you see the people working or voting in apathy?
Already, from the response so far, immediately after what happened, it seems Donald Trump is even getting more sympathy. So far, very prominent celebrities in America have started issuing tributes and declaring their solidarity with Donald Trump. And many world leaders, too, like the president of Russia, already declared that this is happening because the policy Donald Trump is bringing. He said he's at home with Donald Trump's policy. Earlier this morning, I saw a message from President of Israel, Netanyahu, He also sent a message across.
Even our president.
Yes, and a whole lot of world leaders are already feeling sympathy. And no wonder, you see some persons, will I say the opponent, Democrats, as I yesterday, a good number of them said this is a make-up show, that what happened maybe was just a make-up.
Was staged.
Stage managed.
Stage managed. And that Team Trump only did that to gain public sympathy. But somebody technically asks, would a thing like that be stage managed that involve risking the life of the president to an extent of somebody dying in the process, and even the other person? Don't forget that the young man that carried out the attack
Crooks.
has been
Killed.
has been killed
Yeah,
by the
Micah
security.
Crooks.
Yes. So these are the things. If you want to reason on things, there are some things to take into consideration. Sometimes you need common sense. Common knowledge should help you to analyze certain things the way it is. So I see this as well, let's say a political attack, so to speak, which is trying to cut off some of the policies, like my brother, like my co-analyst said. You see, when you have conflicting of interest, this one say I don't want it this way, that one say I don't want it this way, but to whose majorities benefit?
But let me comment that immigration and the economy have been the main issues for voters, according to the media report. And Trump as a better candidate for it. I think Trump is a better candidate to fix the economy.
Yes, if you look at the policies of Donald Trump, Donald Trump was more concerned about the economic situation of America and the world. Understand the role of American president in the world affairs. That it matters a lot. And this is what Donald Trump stands for. And then the policy of the Democrats, like my brother mentioned, considering some things such as the gay law and all of that, and what Donald Trump stands for, this seems to be the major challenge. This seems to be where the rift is coming from. But then, look at the take into consideration the world. Take the world into consideration when it comes to making this decision. How does this decision fare generally? Yes, some of the policies of Donald Trump, when he kicked some encroachment from outsiders into America, because of what? Because of the practices of these persons into the system. Was not outrightly against this, but against certain practices which he condemned. And he said it upholds high moral standards. That has always been what Donald Trump stands for and represents. And that is where now the rift is really coming, where the rift is coming from. So Donald Trump stands as a better candidate, as it is, because of his policies, and the Americans, even those earlier, survey has shown that earlier those that voted against Trump, a good number of them have regretted that they are now willing, they want to go for Donald Trump.
Yes.
Let me take you back to where you were talking about the conspiracy theories, and the particular one that you were talking about was when they said that the whole thing was staged, that he did it to gain sympathy, which seems to be the situation right now, because he's gaining sympathy. You've also said that. Now, people that said it was staged, some of them took it back to a particular picture. I don't know if you saw this particular picture that was trending, where his ear was bleeding, but then he held his fist high. So people said, how can you be so strong enough, you can carry your fist up when you have been shot in the ear and you don't look like you're in pain and all of that. So that was one of the things that, you know, fueled that conspiracy theory that it was staged. But then my question here is for the role that media plays in all of this. How can media do better in portraying this as it is?
It's quite unfortunate that media that is supposed to be neutral are divided. You have this media taking side with this one and that one taking side with that one. This one will now report his own differently based on how it favors his candidate, and that one reports based on how, you know, because why? Because they've come to see media as playing a very vital role in the world system, everything in general. So now some of these persons now buy into this, try to see how they use money to gain the popularity in this case. But then let's talk about in that aspect of the conspiracy. Let's look at who Donald Trump is. They said, how could somebody who was hit by a bullet under pants was still able to raise his hand? Naturally, you know who Donald Trump is as a go-getter. You know, this kind of persons that don't feel like giving up. I don't know whether I get my point. There are these people that don't feel like giving up under any circumstance. They are die-hard individual. So you already will know with the kind of the Donald Trump kind of person. And while he was being held and being taken to the rescued to the vehicle, and that's when you saw him still like he was responding to cheers, because there was still cheers from his supporters, and these are his diehard supporters. Even though a lot of them scampered for safety, a good number were still there and chanting America, USA, America, America, USA, and all of that. So that's the kind of to show you the kind of the solidarity behind this person that this person have for Donald Trump, and you know how these persons, American, play their politics. If this one can be a die-hard Republican, and he will still remain, and whatever the policy, and that is it. And this one will be a die-hard Democrat, and whatever the policy. So I think we should see this beyond just what it is. We should just call a spade a spade. It was an assassination attempt.
A true assassination attempt.
Yes, a true assassination attempt.
Okay, we're on to Melting Point on Memories 96.5 FM, Monday edition, and we are looking at the weekend's assassination attempt on the former U.S. President Donald Trump. Otego, let me come to you. Do you think improved sentiments as being recorded by some saying that small businesses will be improved, and also emphasis will be shifted to favorable response by the Republican victories than Democratic victories? Analysts say they are quite comfortable with the Republicans than the Democrats when it comes to business investment and promotions.
You know, generally, outside Trump's tantrums, is by far a better president. Let me be very candid. In terms of, forget about what they say about his relationships with black people, his relationship, what he has done for black people in 4 years is better than what the Democrats keep doing. They keep on promising black people get their votes, nothing happens. If you look at it now, a lot more black people are moving over to the Trump camp, you know, based on certain practical things they see than the stories they hear. That is on one score. In terms of international relationship, if Trump was president, you would not see the war in Ukraine. He would have handled it a lot better. Because the war in Ukraine is simply caused by America. Let us be very, very candid. Forget about what the people are looking for. If you don't want to go and put a nukes, that is nuclear weapons in Ukraine, which is a border nation. I mean, these people are almost one and the same people. You will not be seeing this war. The reason Russia declared that war is simply because they want to go to NATO. And this was an understanding. Don't even try it, no matter what. You can imagine if Russia now goes to put a nuclear weapon in Cuba, America would go bonkers. They will start a war. You see the point? So that is just about the same thing. So international relationship would have been better, and within America itself, the business community will enjoy the steps the man will take far better than what the current president. Take nothing away from the current president. Is he has been in public service almost all his life. He became a senator, I think it was whether 29 or was he 30 or so, early 30s. He lost his wife and he's seen a child or so, and then has been there working for the interest of the American people till he became the vice president for 8 years, and now he's a president. One of the things he has not really going out for him is the fact that he's old, he's in his 80s, and Americans are not used to electing president of that age. I think he should be the oldest president in American history. We thought when Reagan was president, that would not happen again. Reagan was 69 when he became the president of America. He was there for 2 terms. But this one was in his middle 70s when he became president. So one of the things not truly working out for the current president is that his age. You see some of the gaps he does when he comes on stage, calling this person, the other person. He can call Sharon Osel or call Osel or Sharon, and people feel he doesn't have it anymore. To run the world, you cannot sleep. You have to be awake 24 hours. Even the governor of the state doesn't sleep. So imagine you being the president of the world, so to speak. You can't sleep. So people feel that at that age, he should step aside. And even as we speak, he's having challenges. We are hearing from the rumor mill, from the grapevine, that there are certain problems he has with the Obama camp, who are really behind him. You know what Michelle Obama did during his campaign? They did a lot. You know, so Trump is a far more pragmatic person, even though I would have loved to see younger persons contest election, men lower than maybe in the 40s. Obama was, I think, 43 when he became president. We've had the president, past 2-3 presidents before Obama. All of them were men in the, I think, were in their 40s. 42, 43 when they became president, and they finished their presidency when they were in their 50s, you know. So that's what we would have loved. But this is what Americans have, you know. And like I said, going down to who should do better, I look at Trump as a man who could do better, but the current president is not doing badly himself. There are men with good records in public services and have done a lot to build the American economy.
Yeah, I want to open the phone lines, but we are talking along the lines of, you know, where I want to throw my next question. The last interview that Joe Biden had was not so impressive. There were a lot of stuttering. In fact, there was just a lot. He had to come out to clear the air. That was after the interview, you know, saying that he's good for the election, because some Democrats were already losing hope, thinking that, you know, there should be a better candidate than Joe Biden. And then with this turn of events, with the assassination attempt, do you think that Donald Trump has a better chance?
Even before the assassination attempt, you know, assassination will breed sympathy no matter what you say. That is why some people are looking at that conspiracy. Even before then, I think Trump was ahead in by 27% in 7 swing states. Yeah. You know, that is just this, and we don't know what will happen actually. In politics, 24 hours is a very long time. Yes. And they see time.
Some analysts were saying that with his court case was going to affect the verdict at the election.
Yes.
And that's why people are also talking about this staging the assassination attempt.
Yeah. See, you know, I would say that you cannot really put things past Trump. Trump can engender some scenarios that is very, very wonderful. But then again, it will be too risky, because Americans, like I said, they have security agencies that are very adept in doing investigations. You know, and I look at certain things. There are certain things that makes me doubt why would they pick, except the guy was just some kind of fool that he didn't know that he was going to die. Are you getting me? This young man was shot dead. How good was he in shooting this thing for him not to kill the president in the process? The president, I mean the presidential candidate
because
in the process.
snipers are never known to lose or to
no,
miss.
they do miss, but you are looking at how experienced was this young man.
He's a 20-year-old
man. A 20-year-old. How experienced is he in handling the gun? For you to be trained as a sniper, it takes maybe a lot longer. You have to be quite good in that thing. I mean, a professional would have been chosen to hold that, to shoot, to carry out that job, to make sure that he doesn't kill Trump. Let me say so. If it was something that was staged, you see the point. So I seem to put because if it was a staged something, this boy is too young to have been given that role. Whatsoever, maybe if it was true, it would have been some kind of blanks would have been given to him. So I doubt it. But you are talking about the impact of this thing going forward in the election.
Yes.
Now the thing is that 24 hours is too long for things to change. It may swing in the way of the current presidential candidate of the Republican Party. But remember that we have, I think, about 5 or so months to the election. You know, there's still time for Mr. President of America to build his reputation, popularity, popularity with the American people. He can take policies. The president, he can come back in good health. He can look bouncy, and people will start having that confidence again. So it is now, even because, certainly, in America, by the time you keep on hearing job, job gains, economy is improving, jumping by so many digits, and all that. You get the point. It's going to have a positive impact on Mr. President's re-election.
You know why I actually gave that facial expression? When you said will look bouncy, it just took me back to certain former Nigerian president.
Even the present one.
So that's why I
you see, the man is talking about, look, I am that he said he has been carrying out evaluation. Experts have been trying to test him and all that and that. So in the next few months, and this is the way he was stuttering when he beat Trump. So sometimes I feel the man is playing some kind of game. He was stuttering like this. He ended up beating Trump. We thought Trump is going to beat him during that election. So we don't know. 5 months is still a long time. Something is bound to change. 5 months, people may forget these things happen, and the thing may swing the other way. But let us just watch and see.
All right, let's open the phone lines for people to join in before we get, because I saw a lot of reactions from endurance, and I would like him to respond to that question, to react to that. The phone lines are already buzzing, so we need to hear from the listener. All right, the phone numbers are 0803 085 7755 or 0809 066 6909. We're streaming live on Facebook. The handle is Memories965FM, and the WhatsApp number is 0809 066 6909.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Sir Akban.
Hello. Good morning, Lady Sharon.
Welcome.
Lady
Good
Sharon.
morning, the old fellow.
Yeah, good morning, Akban.
Let me say this. The mistake people make, oratory power does not dictate performance. It was after that debate, people scored Donald Trump high. That is what raised that tempo. Personally, to me, Donald Trump is an established and accomplished, though people don't like him. So I think that is what caused that tempo. Now, if somebody had an attempt on his life, and we argue that it will bring sympathy, that means we will send that person to go and die, like John Kennedy. So let us just get his sympathy. Some people have advised him to stay back. Technology has gone high. You may stay in a bulletproof vehicle or something, and something very, very serious can come. So my own take is that Donald Trump being elected and having lost his second attempt, he should step back and allow those American ones to go there, because he represents a class, 2 classes, the racist class and the bourgeois class. A majority of Americans are in the middle class and the lower class. So please let it stay back for the sake of this life. Thank you.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
Keep the
Akban.
calls coming in. 0803 085 7755 or 0809 066 6909. All right, and Yorans, let's hear from you with the response. I know you have been holding on to a lot of things,
yeah.
and then here you respond to what Akban said.
Well, Akban, thank you so much for having your contribution. Racism, as we know, is a common thing that runs through almost all the human's blood. It all depends. The problem we are having is when somebody is focal, we tend not to really value people that are focal. We take them more seriously. People that are focal are even more sincere people. But there are others that are reserved, but they still carry out their will. Yes, if you observe, most of the focal people don't really mean what they say. They just want to clear their mind and to let you understand their kind of person, how they want things to be, that they like things being done the proper way. But then, compare the actions of these persons that they take eventually and their actual occasional comments. You get to fall in love with them. And that's the case here with Donald Trump. Donald Trump might condemn certain activities.
We have to take a call.
Let's take a call. We'll come back to you. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, good morning. Yes, good morning.
Yeah, can you hear me? My name is Mike.
Yeah, Mike, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. I just want to say this, and keep it on record. A brain dead Biden, a brain dead and wheelchair strict Biden will defeat Trump anytime. Americans are too smart for all of those. Americans know that Trump is a racist and a narcissist. He knows. He doesn't even hide. He knows it. And he brags about it. He's a racist and a narcissist. He knows it. And he wants people, all of those people, he cooks up so many conspiracy theories and all of that just to put himself, just to protect himself in good life, so that he goes into the hearts of those people in his nose who really like him. But Americans are very civilized and smarter than that. They rather vote for a dead Biden than vote for him. You see what happened on that day. But all of these conspiracy theories just taking the assassination to the Gaines party and all that. The FBI will find out exactly what happened. The CIA will find exactly what happened. You now know that those things they cooked up just to make you feel to like him. It doesn't. So Americans are way beyond racism. America is a country with so many nationalities that build that country. So you cannot come and say that the way you become president, you push everybody away. You push Mexicans away. Meanwhile, Mexican Americans are watching you. They are listening to you. Immigrants are listening to you. You know, and you want them to vote. Immigrants to vote for you on that day. Immigrants make up America. What America is today. According to what
It's an
the
immigrant
power
nation.
immigrants have put over the years. They cannot come and be anti-immigrants and you expect them to vote for you. So, on that, it's not like Nigeria. You can take anything and you get to win the power. But anything you see in America, to hunt a particular ethnic group, they will hunt you. That's why Biden will always be advantageous with the blacks. Because he said that if you don't vote me, if you're a black man and don't vote me, that means you're not a real black man. He said it in his first election. And black voted for him because of Obama. And that's what will happen.
Thank you.
So that's all of what Biden is talking or not. Trump also had his own problem stage when he misrepresented people with their, he called someone another name.
Different names.
He also did that.
All right, we have to go. We have to wrap it up.
All right, thank you.
Surprising.
Thank you.
And I'm very sure in great day value with you.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you. We have another call.
Surprising.
Also, we have another call.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, analyst.
You're
Good
welcome.
morning, sir.
My name is John from Virginia.
Okay, John, you're welcome.
Concerning Trump said when he becomes president, African American, Indian American, Asian American, they will go. They don't want them. American must take back their country. Who are they? Who owns United States of America? United States of America become very strong because they are state people from all over the world. That is what is the capital of the world. So Trump said the Mexican will go, the European, where is Trump from? He traced his roots, is from Germany.
Yeah, it's
He
true,
send
it's true.
everybody away. Who owns America? That is not what America wants. Who will vote for him? The black people he want to send away will vote for him. Or the immigrants. He said you cannot even pay if you are not up to this again. He will send you away, take you away. That the America has grown above racism. That is one just.
Okay, thank you. John, we have to go, thank you. We have just a minute left of this program and I want to get parting shots from two analysts.
Certainly we can't take all of these. And
Okay, since I was already on. Alright, like I've heard from all the callers.
Go ahead.
I've heard from the callers. They said no matter the age and what the frailty of Joe Biden, that he's still going to beat Donald Trump anytime. And judging on the fact that Donald Trump is a racist. Well, I've also been privileged to interact with American-based individuals in person who said that it's not like it was during 2020 election. That even those that were initially against Trump are now tilting to his side. But however, the decision basically is Americans. So Americans will take their decision.
Yeah, you see this man called Biden, he don't play games with him. I tell you, this is the way he was stuttering everywhere before he beat Trump. And it was said that, look, if the man was given the ticket during when Clinton and this man contested Trump, that he would have won. And it's true. You know, so you never really know. You see, we need to, how racist is Trump? I don't know. Let me tell you one thing. Do you know that Obama deported more immigrants than Trump did? So it's not just the man shouting, it is who is actually doing what. This one can have good bedside manners, he knows how to talk, but he does worst. You know the point, so that is a real truth. He deported more people than Trump ever did in 4 years.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Today we left the country and we went to the US. We're talking about the assassination attempt on the former US President Donald Trump, and this is as a result. You know, he was campaigning towards the November election, so you know stakes are high, emotions are high, and some people are expecting the Republican supporters to react, but we're here and we're going to keep you updated on every move. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you so much, Basi Endurance and Utuakong Donald Dekere, for your time and contribution here.
Thank you for thanking me.
All right, thank you.
Interesting to be here with you.
All right, coming up at the top of the IZ Bibio Belt, MC Asa will be here talking to you. And thank you once again. My name is Sharon Mandor. I'll see you again tomorrow.
All right, some say American politics have always been a bloody fight.